This is Plant-Based Briefing, How a High-Fiber Diet Promotes Weight Loss from a Doctor Who Lost 50 Pounds, Part 1, by Lucy Danziger at thebeet.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content Plant-Based Podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based, compassionate, and eco-friendly living in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And today's article is a bit longer than that, so it's a two-parter. Part 1 I'm reading today, and Part 2 tomorrow. It's from thebeet.com, a plant-based media platform offering a huge variety of excellent information. I recommend following them on social media and subscribing to their newsletters. They always have interesting stuff coming in my feed. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. How a high-fiber diet promotes weight loss from a doctor who lost 50 pounds. Part 1 by Lucy Danziger at thebeet.com. Fiber isn't just for old people who need to be regular. The secret of fiber is that the more you add to your diet, the easier it is to lose weight, have more energy, and live a healthier life. That's the message from Dr. Bulsiewicz, who as a young resident had gained weight and was feeling depressed. He then met a new girlfriend who was eating plant-based and decided to try it. On this new high-fiber diet, weight loss came naturally. Within a few days, his skin cleared up, his energy returned, and within a few weeks, the extra pounds melted away. He eventually realized that fiber was the key to losing weight so effortlessly. He lost a total of 50 pounds and never looked back. He started to research the connection between dietary fiber and weight loss, as well as fiber and energy, fiber and depression, and fiber and heart health. In a randomized controlled study, when people eat more fiber, it's been shown that they lose more weight, says Dr. Bulsiewicz, who recommends high-fiber diets to help his patients with everything from IBS to colitis to sustainable weight loss. His own weight loss started 10 years ago, and he researched how high-fiber diets work and the mechanism in the body that spurs natural weight loss on a high-fiber diet. What resulted was a book, Fiber Fueled, the plant-based gut health program for losing weight, restoring your health, and optimizing your microbiome, that became a runaway bestseller. Now living 50 pounds lighter, eating plant-based, happily married to his plant-based inspiration, and raising 2 plant-based children, Dr. B, as he prefers to be called, has a new book out, the Fiber Fueled Cookbook, with over 100 recipes that make it easy to eat more fiber. He couldn't believe the world didn't know about fiber and that fiber wasn't taught in medical school, even when he was specializing to become a gastroenterologist. By increasing dietary fiber, you reduce the likelihood of heart disease, heart attack, cancer, stroke, diabetes, and help in healthy weight loss. Yet when we have this information, I thought, why is it not discussed publicly? Dr. Bulsiewicz explained as the reason for writing his fiber book. Fiber is an equalizer and always present in the many different paths to heart health. Dr. Bulsiewicz breaks it down for us, the importance of fiber, how to get more of it, and why Americans are not taught to prioritize fiber, but instead obsess over how much protein they eat, which is a mistake, he explains, if the goal is a lean, strong, healthy body. Fiber is king, and his goal is to educate people about the best high-fiber foods to add to their diet, the easiest ways to get fiber, and how to get the right amount of fiber you need in a day. It's possible to think of fiber for weight loss as a magic pill that everyone is seeking, yet hardly anyone is using. In the U.S., most people fall short of the recommended amount of fiber per day. How much fiber per day should you eat? For women, it's at least 25 grams, and for men, it's 38 grams. Yet 19 out of 20 Americans are not just a little deficient in fiber, but eat extremely low amounts, says Dr. Bulsiewicz. The most common sources of fiber are vegetables and fruits. Animal products have 0 fiber in them, explains Dr. Bulsiewicz. Here is his journey to eating more fiber, losing 50 pounds, and how he's now helping others to do so as well. What is a high-fiber diet? First, let's answer the question, what is fiber? Fiber is complex carbohydrates you will find in all plants, says Dr. Bulsiewicz. Fiber is only in plants, so 100% of the fiber in your diet comes from plants, such as green leafy vegetables, fruits and legumes such as beans and chickpeas. There is 0 fiber in animal products, so the more plants you eat, the better. A high-fiber diet is one that is rich in fruit, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts and seeds, and lower in animal products such as meat, poultry, dairy, eggs, and saturated fat. How much fiber should you eat per day? Women should eat at least 25 grams of fiber a day. Men need 38 grams of fiber in a day. But those fiber amounts are minimums provided by the USDA as goals for Americans to hit, something akin to 10,000 steps in a day. But more fiber is better, explains Dr. Bulsiewicz. Still, even those amounts are not being met by most Americans, who fall well short, he adds. Only 1 in 20 people achieve these minimums, he adds. The easiest way to get more fiber into your diet is to aim to eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, something that 90% of Americans do not achieve on most days. How eating more fiber aids in weight loss. Fiber helps your body burn fat and lose weight. To understand the role of fiber in aiding weight loss, first you need to understand that your body itself isn't breaking down fiber, but instead the trillions of healthy bacteria that live in your gut do this job. These bacteria make up what's called your gut microbiome or environment, and many types of organisms live there, breaking down the food that comes into the system. This microbiome helps drive up or down inflammation, regulates your immune system, and determines your energy levels throughout the day as you eat different types of food. Added sugar, saturated fat, animal protein, and especially meat and dairy feed unhelpful bacteria that can increase your body's inflammation and lead to hardening of the arteries, which increases the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes in the long term. Meanwhile, the good bacteria in the gut feed on fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. The microbiome is healthiest when you feed the good bacteria fiber-filled foods, such as vegetables and fruit, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, which allows them to get stronger, break down more fiber, and help the body run better. The microbiome regulates everything from your immune system to inflammation. A fiber-filled diet is the most anti-inflammatory diet there is, explains Dr. Bulsiewicz. Fiber helps in weight loss by slowing down fuel absorption into the body and bloodstream. As the hard-to-break-down fiber gets worked on, like untying a series of knots in a long knotted rope, the fuel is released over many minutes and even hours. That means you stay full longer and your body does not experience a sudden surge of blood sugar that it can't handle or burn off. Since the blood can only contain about a tablespoon worth of sugar at any given moment, the extra has to be shunted off. Your insulin response is the messenger that tries to sell the extra fuel, and when none of your muscles or organs can use it, the body stores it in its virtual warehouse, fat cells. So the slower your calories are sent into the system, i.e. absorbed into the bloodstream, the more likely you will burn them instead of storing them. Fiber makes it so you won't have an insulin response to the food you eat, says Dr. Bulsiewicz. The opposite of fiber is eating high added sugar foods like donuts that get absorbed quickly, spiking blood sugar. Then insulin reacts and carries the extra calories you aren't using to be stored as fat. Fiber slows absorption, which means you have more energy for longer and you don't need to eat again so soon after, says Dr. Bulsiewicz. Fiber lowers the insulin response. You just listened to How a High-Fiber Diet Promotes Weight Loss from a Doctor Who Lost 50 Pounds, Part 1 by Lucy Danziger at thebeet.com. And tune in tomorrow for the second half of this article, where you'll hear about fiber and metabolism, some good high-fiber foods to add to your diet, and what Dr. B eats in a day. Please be sure to subscribe to or follow the podcast wherever you listen, and thanks for listening.